Hey guys, it's Jim. Hope you're doing well. I haven't done a video in a while because I've been on the road and on a big road trip, having a lot of fun. I found some time today to sit in my hotel room and do a little video, so I'm going to work on that now. I've got this sunflower field, and I took this photo, as you can see, in broad daylight. I was in Texas. It was just at the beginning of our trip, and I wanted to take the photo because I love the sunflowers, but the sky was a mess. So I'm going to completely change this photo around. Thought I'd do a little walkthrough. So here we go. Let me get started. I'm going to start, and I've got to look at my notes here, but I'm going to start with reducing the light in the bottom. So I'm going to use top and bottom lighting. I'm going to take that down pretty much. I'm going to add a layer, and I'm going to get a new image layer, and I'm going to get this sunset sky. So let me grab that, and I'm going to use the gradient mask, which is over here. I'm going to plop that sky sort of like that. I think that'll do. Okay, so it's already looking better. Now I'm going to go add another layer, and I'm going to use several layers in this video. So a new layer, and this will be an adjustment layer. And I'm going to use one of my presets. I'm going to use, if you're not familiar with my Wanderlust preset pack, it's been out for a long time. You can find that on the blog. If you're interested, I'm going to use this Rain of Fire. And I think I'm doing that at about 50%. Yeah, if you look at that, that's kind of crazy color. So let me take that down to about 50%. There we go. I think that looks a lot better. And I'm going to add another layer and another adjustment layer, and I'm going to use another preset from this same preset pack, and this one is Smooth and Dreamy. So let me do that, and let me check my notes here. Yep, I do that at about 50% as well. So let me take that down, and I'm kind of moving quick here, but I don't have a lot of time, and you can always watch this again if you lose track of me there. So there's that. However, it's a little too blue, so I think I'm going to take the temperature. Let me check my notes again. Yeah, I'm bumping the temperature up because it was a pretty warm day, as you can see, and I want to warm up the sunset. Less blue, more kind of orange, red, right? So I think that's made a nice change to it. And I'm not done. I'm getting there, but I like where I am. So I'm going to add a new adjustment layer. And in this case, I'm going to use a couple of filters from a workspace that I created called Light Control. I gave this away. You can also find that on the blog. But I created this workspace just so I can adjust the light. And so that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to use, let me see here, I'm going to use the polarizing filter. And if you take a look at it, let me drag it all the way to the right. If you look in the center here, it was kind of brighter because of the way the gradient mask fell. So I'm using this polarizing filter to go from that to kind of like that. So I'm sort of darkening that little bit of light across the horizon. And then I'm going to go back into top and bottom lighting and darken the bottom again. And something like that. I think that looks a little bit more reasonable. And what I'm trying to do is create a believable sort of look. Now the sky's kind of saturated, so you might say, hey Jim, I don't believe that. And that's okay, that's easy to fix. I'm probably going to leave it kind of like that just because I like it, but I'm trying to create a sunset sky that would be more believable with this photo. And so that's why I'm darkening the foreground to sort of get the tones and the light sort of more balanced to make it look like it might have been shot later in the day as opposed to in broad daylight, because it was shot like around noon or 1 in the afternoon. So that's that, and I think I'm going to take Smart Tone down a little bit, and these are global adjustments that I'm making, but I think they're making a nice impact on the photo to sort of darken the tones. And then the last thing I'm going to do is go add one more adjustment layer, and I'm going to mess with the hue saturation and luminance filter, and then I'm going to add a little Orton just because it's Orton and I love it. So I'm going to take this saturation of these greens down a little bit because they're a little too green. And I think the blue is a little too vivid there, so I'm going to take that down as well. And the last thing I'm going to do is just take this Orton, I'm going to bump that up a little bit, because I'm going to make kind of a dreamier kind of look, and maybe brighten it a little bit. And that's really it. If you take a look at the before and after, you can see we completely changed the light, and with that, a lot of the contrast and the color contrast in the foreground. Obviously, we put a new sky in. And even though there's some clouds here in this sky, they actually come across, some of them come across in this new sky because I didn't do a straight 100% paste or brush in of that sky. I did a gradient mask, so it basically reduces the opacity of that mask as it gets closer to the horizon. So, I think the clouds actually work fine. I think it looks believable. And then, of course, we changed a lot of colors and tones and all that. And there it is. That's really it. So let me show you a full screen. There it is. I think it looks really cool. I think it looks believable. You might not believe some of that pink. That's an easy adjustment if you wanted to. I like the color and the saturation. I think it pops. And let me show you the before and after one more time. There's the full before. Like I said, middle of the day, 1 or 2 o'clock, maybe 12, I don't know. But it was when we were just starting this crazy long road trip that we've been on for several weeks now. And there's the after. It looks like a sunset occurred, and I happened to show up at the right time and capture the photo. And there it is, my friends. Quick and easy with Luminar. The new sky is one of my own sky photos. I may make a sky pack available. I recently released a texture pack. And so if you guys like this sort of thing, I might release a sky replacement pack or a sky overlay pack. But the rest of that was just some of my presets and just some filter adjustments in Luminar. Super easy and super fun with Luminar. I hope it helps. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for tuning in. And as soon as I can find more time on this trip, I'll do another video. But otherwise, I'll catch you soon. Thanks. Take care. Have a good day, and adios.